I don't have nothing to do with what?
The 200 years that you're talking about.
Yes, I do. Have you ever heard of generational trauma, generational wealth? My people don't own anything.
Where you come
nothing.
From?
How can you build something when my people come from nothing? I come from South Memphis.
And I come from Stop 6.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I went to university.
What does comparison mean? What does comparison mean when the statistics say that we are behind?
We're not behind. Some people are behind. We're not behind. Why? Because we make positive decisions.
What's up, YouTube? Hope you guys are feeling good. Today, guys, we're back here on the new video. Today, we're going to be checking out Charlie Kirk, an officer at Tantum. This is going to be good. It destroys race-baiting students with fact and logic. I think this is number 2. This is going to be amazing to watch. I love us check this video out together. I call him Charlie Kick because he loves kicking us. Let's get right into today's video, guys.
Chris?
Okay,
yeah.
Chris.
I noticed you have the, unless I read wrong, you have the Make America Great Again.
Yeah, I do.
I want you to tell me exactly the point in history where America was great.
You know, it's funny. Point to me a time in history where America wasn't great. Tell me where
the birth of America.
America where America wasn't great.
On murder and thievery and deception. What do you mean?
Now let me explain this to you real quick. This is for everybody to listen to. Everybody always have this perception that we shouldn't acknowledge America as being great. America started at a certain point and grew and came better over time. No country that you know of was 100% perfect at the foundation. No country. No country in the world. No countries in Africa, no countries in Europe. You can name it. Everybody started at a certain point, and it became greater over time.
Answer my question.
Ever since you've been alive, America has been the greatest it's ever been.
You think so?
100%, brother. You can name somewhere else that's better than America. And why don't you live there?
I'm not sure.
I know you're not sure because they don't exist. Show me somewhere else that's as diverse as America. Anywhere.
Diverse?
That's as diverse.
What does diversity mean if
opportunities for all people? Show me another country that give opportunities for all people like America.
Do you think we have the same opportunity as everybody else, as black people?
Yeah, 100%.
With a 200-year economic head start on us and no reparations?
What's stopping you now? Aren't you at this university?
Yeah.
You're at the university just like all these white people. How's that any different? Can't you?
I want you to go 2 blocks that way and tell me where they at.
You can read. You can go to class. You can make good grades. I'm hoping that you're making straight A's. How is America stopping you from doing that? And how is it stopping you from being prosperous enough to go down the street and make a difference in your own community? How is America stopping you from doing that?
Why is it my responsibility to make a difference in my community that was sabotaged from the start?
I don't think. Let's go back to the foundation.
Do you think the CIA planted drugs in our communities?
They didn't make you sell it.
Do you think they?
No. I agree.
Do you think they burned down
stories of how
black
the CIA,
businesses? Do you know what Black Hollywood is?
Let's go one at a time. I've heard stories that the CIA planted drugs in the inner city communities. Not every black community, but in some. They still don't make you go and sell drugs to your brother, do they? Why are you not selling drugs right now? Because it doesn't make sense for you to do that. You have an opportunity to go to a university, get an education, and make yourself better and make your family better in the next few generations. Nobody's stopping us from doing that. I'm sitting on campus right now, and all these people are listening to me.
You know what's stopping
me?
Money.
In America, what's stopping you from making money in America?
What the f is not stopping us from making money?
You
what
go
the
to the same university as all these white people. How you got it different?
Exactly.
You said what? Excuse me?
We still in debt. We're in debt.
That's
our fault. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, right?
Okay, we
were never given boots to begin with.
Let's start with this. I actually went and graduated from a university. So I'm not a guy that didn't go to college. I had a full scholarship, so I didn't pay for school in my undergrad. Graduate school, I paid for out of my pocket. I did not get a loan. I mean, I did not have to get loan forgiveness or nothing like that. I had $11,000 worth of debt and I paid it. How is that different than anybody else out here?
Because everybody doesn't have the same opportunity.
I'm black though. How did I pay my loan off and you can't? Or
where you from?
Well, I'm from Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, Dunbar High School.
Fort Worth,
right
Texas.
In the hood and Stop 6. Right in the hood and Stop 6. How did I get to this point if America's against me?
Did everybody in your neighborhood get to that point?
Well, different choices. There's a lot of people in my neighborhood that made it out because they made better choices. I could have sold drugs. I didn't. Why? Because I wanted something better out of my life.
What do you say about the disproportionate wealth? Does that not matter?
It's about culture. How much money do you save?
I don't know. I'm in debt, bro.
You in debt. How much do you invest?
I don't know.
How did you get into debt? Who chose to come here?
Me.
Well, that's you laid it out. Now, when you come here, for every college student here, this should be an investment into your future.
Right.
Anybody that know anything about making money knows that you have to invest to get to the next step.
You may be in debt. Money.
You may be in debt to make an investment to get to the next step. So if you do this properly, this is a debt investment to make more money in the future. If you come here and clown around and take a major that won't put you anywhere, then you just got into debt for no doggone reason. It's a cultural thing. Black people in America don't have wealth like others because they choose not to generate wealth through investments and passing their money down.
Who's teaching us to do this?
We should teach each other to do it. Why does somebody got to teach? You want the white man to teach us? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, hell, teach us something.
Okay, no, you could teach something. You got a college, you can get a college education. When you have children, teach your children.
So basically help yourselves. We know you have this 200-year head start.
That doesn't matter, bro. You don't have nothing to do with You don't have nothing to do with that.
Oh.
You don't have nothing to do with that.
I thought you said one at a time.
You don't have nothing to do with that.
I don't have nothing to do with what?
The 200 years that you're talking about.
Yes, I do. Have you ever heard of generational trauma, generational wealth? My people don't own anything.
Where you come
nothing.
From?
How can you build something when my people come from nothing? I come from South Memphis.
And I come from Stop 6.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I went to university.
What does comparison mean?
It
what
means
does
that
comparison mean when the statistics say that we are behind?
We are not behind. Some people are behind. We're not behind. Why? Because we make positive decisions. He's not behind. He's not behind. She's not behind. Do I want to go point out
on a college campus?
But does college guarantee us success?
You're on a college campus.
It depends on what you do with what you have presented to you. You born in wherever you were born at. Look at you now. What's the difference between you and other people that didn't choose?
Opportunity.
How did you get an opportunity that other people didn't? You were in debt, so you didn't have the money. You didn't have the money to pay for it.
My parents didn't have much, but they had enough to keep me out the hood trying to make some money any way I can. I know people who have no anything. They have to go out there. They have no other choice. They have a horrible education. Do you know what the education system is like here? It's horrible.
Okay, so let's explain it like this. I wanna make sure we talk it at the same level.
Right.
So in America, every single person has an opportunity to do something with what they have in their hand.
True.
And we have nothing in our hands. That's the point.
Let me say this. I believe wholeheartedly that God gives you a hand of cards to play. Hear me out.
God gives you
Hear me out. God gives you a hand of cards to play. Not everybody's hand is the same. What you can have a full deck of great cards and you play them poorly, you won't make it in life. You can have a bad hand. You play them strategically and you play them right, you'll do good in life. You had a not so good hand growing up where you grew up at. You made positive decisions that led you here.
Yeah.
That's the hand you've been dealt. Everybody don't have a freaking silver spoon in their mouth. True. America is the only place.
They proportionately
Who is they?
Everybody else, man.
Everybody else like who? Are you saying white people?
It's a debating.
Brother, you in the same situation as all these white people and you playing the victim.
Am I?
You at the same university?
Am I? What does the same university have to do with anything?
You go to the same classes?
I had a 4.3 GPA in high school. I did what I was supposed to hit. I did what I was supposed to do.
What's your GPA now?
3.6.
Brother, what's holding you back then?
That's the point. Everybody doesn't have a 3.6. Everybody is
Do you just get a 3.6 because you woke up one day? You studied, didn't you?
Right. No, I actually didn't.
You didn't study.
No.
So then you have a gift that you can go and make a 3-point something and don't even study.
Right.
Brother, I mean, I don't know. I think we're wasting our time talking to each other. The bottom line is that if you study, you work hard, you play the cards that you're dealt properly, you will be successful. This country makes more millionaires than anywhere in the world.
True.
You can talk, Oprah Winfrey came from nothing. Tyler Perry came from nothing. I mean, you go down the list. Brother.
Why are you naming rich black people?
Because these are the people.
Why are you naming
rich
black people?
All right, me.
You talking about me and you. I'm talking about everybody in the surrounding, everybody outside of this bubble.
Listen, man, you're a product of your decision making.
Thank you.
You're an example that you can come from nothing and come to the university.
A product of your decision making when the majority of others
from
are a
nothing and you're
product
at the
of their
university.
environment.
What are we saying? You came from nothing, you're at the university. Well, how about you go and teach other young men like you that grew up where you grew up how to do what you did to get here, period.
Simple.
What's the problem in that? Well, come to the mic, please. Can you come to the mic?
He want me off the mic.
No, it doesn't matter about recording. Can you come to the mic so we can hear your question, please?
Come on, we
No,
double team
it's
the
so
mic.
we can get the audio in.
We can double team the mic. We can double team the mic.
Just
It's
ask
okay.
the question, and I'll try to answer your question. Hold on 1 second. What's your question?
How does everyone have an opportunity when systematically the U.S. has multiple inequities within?
What inequities? Can you explain one?
Inequities in education.
Wait, inequities in education. What does that mean? Do you consider yourself a minority?
I do.
Is the country against you?
Systemically, in a way, it could be.
But it's not. You're here. You did what you're supposed to do to get here.
You.
That's what it's about. Individuality. If you do what you need to do, you'll be here.
You as in everybody on this campus.
Listen, some people grow up in a terrible environment. Can we agree? Some people in that terrible environment make positive decisions to get out of that environment. Some people it
What
takes
is
longer.
some,
It
like
takes
10%,
longer in life to do that,
like
and that's not a
5%?
black thing. It's a everybody thing. There's poor white people in this country too. Do you not forget that? Most people on food stamps are white. Most people incarcerated are white.
Most people in the country are white.
Most people get killed by police are white.
Most everybody in this country is white.
So what I'm saying-
What does
what
that
I'm saying
statistic
is
have to do with anything?
That if poverty was just relegated to black people, it would only be black
You
people that
talking
are
on the
poor.
script.
All right, come on.
Said some very nasty things about me online, so the floor is yours.
Thank you. Simple question, simple black theory. What do you think about blind hiring? Are you for blind hiring?
No.
No. So why not? Because blind hiring, for those you don't know, is based on merit, where you don't
it's
look.
not.
So what's blind hiring?
Blind hiring would be that you do not put the race actually when you submit for, you don't even see the person when you interview them for a job.
No. That's one part of blind hiring. There's
Okay,
multiple
so-
ways to do blind hiring. But at the end of the day, blind hiring is exactly not knowing the person's race, age, or gender. That's based on merit. Like you said, you want merit, correct?
Well, hold on. Those things can factor into merit as well. For example, if I'm trying to hire for an Amazon warehouse worker, and all of a sudden I find out that they're at 69 with 1 year left from retirement and the age is not disclosed, wouldn't I prefer to have a 24-year-old man than a 69-year-old woman who's overweight?
You're moving the goalpost. Let's bring it back here.
No, I'm
the
not.
whole point was about blind hiring.
No,
right?
you said race, sex, and age
Right.
is not incorporated.
Correct.
I think you should have a full picture of a human being is when you hire them.
So you care about diversity.
No, actually, I don't.
Why? Because that's basically merit. You're focusing solely on merit. You said you want
Oh, no.
meritocracy.
Just to be clear, if diversity happens naturally through meritocracy, great. If all of a sudden we have
That's
people
DEI.
that, well, no, it's not. DEI is by force.
So let me
DEI
explain that.
No.
Go ahead.
I got to interject.
Go ahead.
DEI is that we are going to forcibly make an institution more colorful.
Right.
We're going to forcibly make an institution more black. Where if all of a sudden, if half of Texas A&M was black because it was all on merit, praise God, that's an amazing thing. It doesn't matter. If all of a sudden, for example, if the NBA is 75% black because it's on merit, great. Terrific. If the NFL is half black because on merit, we don't want to force race. We want excellence and meritocracy over race in every possible circumstance.
True.
Right, yeah, my turn. Okay, so let's get into the NBA, for instance, right? Can we both agree at one point black people weren't allowed into the NBA, and then they allowed them to be in the NBA? Wouldn't that be considered diversity? Wouldn't that be DEI in itself?
No. It's actually the opposite. You see, you're
How
mistaken,
so?
my friend. It's actually, we're getting rid of any racial stereotyping. What happened was actually a form, no, DEI is racial stereotyping.
So
what actually was before was a form of white preference DEI, which is white supremacy or whatever, and then we got rid of it. We said, we're not going to discriminate it, and the quality of play got better. Do you guys see the difference between the two? You see,
Yeah,
it's
talk to
very
the crowd.
important. Well, no, actually, I'm talking to both you and the
should
crowd,
talk to
right?
me.
I'm talking to both,
Okay.
right? So what ended up, what you want is you actually want to bring back a form of how Major League Baseball and the NBA used to work before we desegregated.
So we can agree that Executive Order 11246 is what basically brought in DEI, correct?
I think that might be it. Is
Right.
that the affirmative action
So
one? I don't know.
No, it's not the affirmative action. It's for DEI. So within that executive order, where does it say that they're solely focused on making people get into jobs? For instance, like United Airlines, right? You mentioned that, well, let's pause that. I'm gonna get to here. So for an example of DEI is basically your daughter, right? She decides to get a job, right? And unfortunately, it's that time of the month. She goes into the bathroom. Calm down, calm down, calm down. She goes into the bathroom. Stop. She's going into the bathroom.
You're losing the audience, man.
I don't care. I'm talking to you. So she goes into the bathroom, right? And she goes into the bathroom and gets a tampon or a pad that's been given from the job. That is DEI. That is literally, yes. Yeah. You don't know. That's great. So if you don't know, DEI, interrupt me so he can win. Go ahead. You want to do that, right? Or be quiet and we can talk. Thank you. So, right. Can I continue? Thank you. So, my thing is dead. All right, so, yes, because in Executive Order 11246, they say that DEI is focusing on a safer environment and a more equitable environment within the workplace and the hiring process. Let's look at Google. Google actually does DEI. You know how they do DEI? Give me an example of, do you know Google's DEI? I'm pretty sure you don't.
And they shouldn't, of course not.
What is their DEI initiative?
I actually don't know the specifics because I don't know every company's specifics.
I got
However, let me ask you a question. When you're hiring somebody, would you rather hire someone that's black or someone that there is excellent?
So that's what we're talking about. That's not what DEI is.
Actually, it is. So let me prove it to you. As I said, according to the Student for Fair Admission Supreme Court case, black students were able to get into Harvard with
affirmative action,
which
not
is
DEI.
Affirmative action.
Hold
time out.
You're
Time out.
Affirmative
Time
action
out.
and DEI
Time out. You're getting
together.
too worked up here, man. Okay. Time out. Affirmative action is DEI in practice. You see, DEI is a theory.
Wasn't it struck down by Supreme Court?
Yes, and they still ignore it.
So why are you bringing it up?
Because they're still ignoring it, my friend.
So let's focus on my question I asked you.
Hold on. Let's get back to the core macro tenet, which I think is very important.
Correct.
Which is, wouldn't you prefer a country built on excellence and merit,
That
not
is what
one
DEI does.
based on forced pigmentation diversity? Why does somebody's skin color matter? No, tell me, what differences do you as a black man and me as a white man have, and why does it matter?
Okay, so
why does it matter?
So let's look at, because again, you don't understand what DEI is, and you're trying to put it into one stance, which is not. So back to this question. So in executive order, and correct me if I'm wrong, you don't know executive order 11246, correct? So
I have an idea of what President Trump signed, correct? But because he got rid of that executive order.
Right. And in that executive order, it says literally, y'all can Google it too. It says that DEI focuses on both the workplace and hiring.
Oh,
now,
got it. So does it focus on diversity?
Now let me explain the
Does
DEI
it have the word
initiative.
diversity?
Yes, but
we should not have any forced diversity, period. End of story.
It's not forced diversity. It does not say forced diversity, and I'll put money on that too.
What, does it say diversity?
It says diversity, yes.
Well, then it's forced diversity.
But it's not forced diversity.
Then what is it? It's a suggestion?
So, correct me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm lying. Does it say forced diversity in the executive order?
But it has the word diversity.
Does it say forced diversity in the executive order?
Hold on, let me get this straight. Executive order with the word diversity.
Can I give you an example of DEI initiative then?
Diversity?
Let me give you an example of DEI initiative so you have a better understanding. So let's look at Google, right? Google's one of the hardest companies to actually get into. In fact, I believe it's a 0.2% chance that you actually get the job, right? They actually run a DEI initiative. Their DEI initiative is called a hiring committee, where they have a diverse group of people that have been working.
Awful.
How? So you're telling me Google sucks?
Google actually is, honestly.
So y'all using Bing. Y'all using Bing.
Honestly, ChatGPT's way better than Google recently. I don't know about you guys. No, but honestly, to your point though, Google has lost its competitive edge in a lot of ways the last 10 years. Hold on a second. Again, Google does a lot right, but hold on. Google has lost the social media war. Google tried to launch a Facebook competitor, an Instagram competitor. Failed. They tried to also launch a Zoom and a Skype competitor.
Let's focus on the conversation.
Failed.
That has no proof
Google's
that was
market
DEI.
cap, Google's market cap, otherwise known as Alphabet, has actually missed expectations over the last 2 years versus Netflix, Amazon, and Apple and Microsoft. In fact, there was a prediction 10 years ago that Google would be the first $3 trillion company.
Right.
Turns out that it was actually Microsoft that was the first $3 trillion company. Now, of course, Alphabet is a very good company in a lot of different ways. But if your argument right now is like, well, because one of the biggest companies on the planet has embraced a bad idea, what is your argument exactly?
They're still one of the best companies in the world.
Not because of that, because they were built by merit, and it's being destroyed by diversity.
And they use DEI to get that merit. Listen, if they're hiring people, yes, it makes sense. If you're doing a hiring process and you have a hiring committee that is DEI and they're hiring the people that's making the company as great as we just said, your argument is that DEI takes away merit. merit.
It does.
But if we see that Google is doing well and they're using DEI, how the hell are you saying that DEI is not making merit?
First of all, Google has not had this hiring committee around since its inception.
They have. Not since its inception, but they had it for a while. And the people in the committee are people who's been there for a while, which is very diverse.
Secondly, you have not answered this fundamental question, though.
Go ahead.
Which is, can you tell me when an organization gets forcibly more diverse, it gets better?
Google.
Again, I just proved to you, Google. Okay.
I just gave you Google.
Again.
They use DEI. Not only are they one of the best companies. Oh, yeah. I hate that argument. Great.
I mean, again, it's just, they're fine. I'm not going to, like, totally kind of crap on Google. But, like, more importantly and more broadly, I do think you have to answer the question,
so I can't.
Why does skin color matter at all in hiring? Answer that question. Why does skin color matter?
So, if we look at basketball, because you love talking about that, right? Can we both agree that at one point there was no black athletes, and then what happened? They diversified.
We got rid of forced segregation, which is a form of DEI.
And that diversified the basketball,
because
right?
it was based on merit.
Was it diversified?
Yes, but not by force. No, hold on a second.
Very much.
Hold on, but if your argument is that if you want to make things more merit-based, then let's do it.
It is more merit-based.
Hold on a second.
They made it diversifying. They diversified basketball, bringing black people who are good in it.
Nothing you're saying is making any sense.
Okay, I bet.
Because what they did.
Of course you don't.
The NBA went to pure merit, pure excellence. Are you good at this? That's all they cared about.
They allowed black people in, right?
Exactly, because prior.
Okay, then.
Hold on. Because you know what they had prior was a form of racial stereotyping. And you want more racial stereotyping. Your worldview is indecipherable from the KKK.
So
what you want, it's indecipherable because you are race obsessed. I am not race obsessed.
No, you
talk about the race.
You
talk about race more than the Grand Wizard of the KKK.
Right.
Because
I'm the Grand Wizard of the KKK.
Well, think about it. I said your worldview.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Because you're around talking about race all the time. I'm talking about character. Which of
you
us?
talk about race all the time. You literally said DEI is based on race when it's not.
Because
it's
I'm
DIA
explaining.
with accessibility.
Man, you're getting really upset.
You're right,
take
because
a
you
pause.
keep lying. For instance, right? I've been trying to say this. DI, one part of DI is literally giving women tampons or pads at work. Oh, yeah, you're laughing because you don't know that.
Giving women tampons is a form of DEI.
Yes, it is. You know why? Let me explain. Yeah, no, I got you. I'm about to explain to you guys. So basically what happens is, the reason why we have DEI is the fact that in a job location, right, they want to hire more people of diverse. So what these initiatives, these goals, these aspirations that they're doing is trying to bring more people in. For instance, like if, what's that store? Trader Joe's, right? They let people sit down while they bring stuff in. They help disability. That's DI. That helps disabled people get a job at Trader Joe's. But what you're telling me is that we are not allowed to tell people that for like onboarding. Onboarding in itself is also DEI. When they explain to you sexual harassment, when they do all these things, when they make it more a safer place, that is DEI. And what you're saying is that the workplace shouldn't be safe. What you're saying is that more companies should have discrimination lawsuits.
Let's get back
That's what DEI stops.
Get back.
Discrimination lawsuits.
DEI is racial quotas. End of story.
Give me one racial quota.
United
Give me one.
Airlines.
I Googled that.
So
go ahead.
Oh,
I Googled it.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So
go ahead, continue.
What did United Airlines announce? Because you know what I said about black pilots. What did they announce when it came to pilots? And why should skin color matter when you board an airplane?
So just to remind everybody, it's Charlie Kirk's idea. He basically, stop talking. So Charlie Kirk basically.
Ooh, that's very misogynist. That's not very DEI of you.
All right, let me finish cooking. So, right?
Yeah, it's cooking, bro.
So, can I finish? So, Charlie Kirk said that they're basically hiring women of color to make 40 or 50%, right? But when you actually look into it, what happens is...
Women and people of color.
Right, women and people of color. What happens is they're creating a program that's allowing women to train and become pilots. If you actually look at the requirements for these programs, it's nothing different than any other program that trains pilots. But you told people that they're just hiring women when that's not true.
First of all, I never said that. Secondly,
yes, you did. I did a video on it, guy.
Yes, I know what I said. Secondly, when you hire based on race and not on excellence, you end up compromising the standards of excellence.
They're not hiring based
Allow
on
me
race,
to
though.
finish without interrupting
All right, go ahead,
When you
Lai.
hire based on race and not on excellence, you end up compromising excellence to be able to pursue race. We know this with Harvard, University of California. We know this with major companies. We
Affirmative
know this
action
with the
again.
government. Exactly.
Always bringing that
DEI, that is affirmative action is DEI
Which
philosophy
been
in
struck down
practice.
already. You're bringing OG that's been
Allow
struck
me
down.
to finish
That's
my
crazy.
statement.
Go
They
ahead.
are actively defying the Supreme Court decision, or they are contorting their policies to try to fit their own DEI agenda. But let me ask you a question. If you were to board a United
Wait,
Airlines,
I ain't get the finish. Go ahead.
if you were to board a flight with United Airlines, would you rather have a pilot that is qualified or one that is diverse? Answer
So
the question.
Wait, that makes no sense. Why is there two different things? How is it different? When you go to American Airlines,
Because in the pursuit of diversity,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
sacrifice excellence every time. We know this with Harvard.
Right,
We know this
true.
with Yale.
So I got a
We know
question.
this with the military.
Right.
Every time,
Right,
every
right.
example that we pursue diversity, an institution becomes less excellent.
so
it becomes subpar.
when you go on a plane, do you go to the pilot and ask for their credentials, or do you believe that the airline did the right thing
No.
and hired the right? So you ask
No,
for
I
their
don't.
credentials.
Actually,
you don't.
I'm starting
you
to.
don't. So
well, hold on.
so
I
for
start
some
to doubt
reason,
it.
we
That
can
was
have
my
both
statement.
diversity and
That
merit
was my
things.
statement. My
Right.
statement was when you're going to if you're going to go from 4% of the pilots being black to 50% of the pilots to be black, it begs
Right.
the question: you are going to lower the standards.
So my
you are
question
going
is-
to you're going to put a square peg through a round hole. You are going to force something that naturally is not happening,
body.
and you will all of a sudden be playing a very treacherous and dangerous game when you board a plane. When I get heart surgery or if I board a plane, I don't care about the color of the skin of
Thank
the
you,
person
facts,
doing it.
right,
I
yeah.
want excellence and I want meritocracy.
Yes. So, stop talking. Are you talking? So, right, let's get back to because you're talking a lot.
Final point, then I'll get to the next question.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so again, going back to what you said, because like I said earlier ago, you said, and I forgot this is ISU, you basically said that that women are being hired to become pilots, right? Now, first, that's a lie. That's based on a program. Second, correct me if I'm wrong, becoming a pilot is based on skill, correct? It's not based on height. It's not based on physicality. It's not based on nothing. It's based on skill, meaning
Not
that
always.
if you're being so what is it based on?
Because based on a now public lawsuit with the Department of Transportation in 2016, 2017, air traffic controllers and pilot standards were lowered in pursuit of
Not
diversity
true. I
goals.
looked at that too.
Because of over
They
15.
added more
Let me
shit.
finish. Because of 15 whistleblowers that said the standard of air traffic controllers and pilots were being sacrificed in the pursuit of diversity,
lying
equity,
again.
and inclusion.
You're lying again.
Okay, I mean people can do their own independent research, and they
I've
also.
done it, and you're lying. They
okay.
actually made it harder. They add more scenarios within the FAA.
Again, everybody
you
here
can Google
can
it. Google it right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
Again, the documents bear out exactly. We now have.
Yeah, I'm looking at next,
We have air
next,
traffic
next.
controllers after air
Next.
traffic controllers have said in the pursuit of making air traffic controlling more diverse, we have then lowered the quality of air traffic controlling.
So at the end of all this, what you basically told me is that if merit matters, it doesn't matter, because when we mentioned blind hiring, you said you're against that, which is based on merit.
No, time out. They said that they want to prioritize a group above what is meritocratic.
That didn't say that.
That's what United
If you
Airlines
want,
said. They said
I'm
half.
so confident.
They
Read
said
the
half.
executive order out loud.
We're talking about United
right
Airlines.
now.
We're not talking about the
in front of
executive order.
everybody.
Again, they
All right,
said
yeah,
half
next.
of all their
You got
new
Cook.
hires.
You got Cook.
Again,
Hey, thank you.
we have clarity, and the clarity is very.
Okay, this guy right here, it's a bit crazy, is he just want to prove his point right, which makes no sense. I won't tell me that tampon is a form of DEI. It makes no sense. That is absurd. He's just blabbing. Do you understand? He's blabbing, going around in circles and coming back. It's all those people who believe in DEI, diversity, equality, and what is the last word they normally add? Those things are bullshit, guys. DEI is also a form of oppression in a way. Do you understand? It should not. DEI and affirmative action, they're like a twin. It should not be something we should be talking about, deliberating about. People who brings about this aspect of DEI, the people who play this victim game every single time, like what this black man here is doing. He's playing the victim game. He just wants to feel like, they are being discriminated already. DEI is a way of them supporting them. Do you understand? It's a bullshit statement. Let's start from the first guy who came here, who played the victim game. The first guy right here was just blabbing. He was just talking. He was just playing like he's a victim. They've taken 200 years or 300 years of his life away. So it's not the same. It's not as equal as a white man. The funny thing is that anyone who come about to such narrative or such perception, whenever you talk about that, they are not the same with a white man. You are in college, right? All of them are all in college. Do you know there are also white people who can't afford college, who can't go to college? So if you tell me that white supremacy exists, black are being oppressed, why then are you the one in the upper and there's a white man down? If your statement is 100% true, then the white man ought to be higher than you, which is not so. In America, there's nothing a white man can do that a black man cannot do. It's as simple as that. Anyone who come here and talk about this DI bullshit, they don't want to take accountability for their actions. Anyone who come here and play the victim game, they don't want to take accountability for their actions. Black people, some black people, I won't say all, because some black people, they just don't want to see the reality of things and accept it. They want to hide and find excuses for their actions. Every single time I see people come about and talk about systemic racism, affirmative actions, DEI, they are all playing the victim game and they are hiding behind excuses. They don't want to take accountability for their actions. They don't want to face the real world face on. They are looking for a way to hide, which is bullshit every single time. That first guy tried to piss me off. Officer Tanton was finding the best way possible to answer him. And he answered him. But the guy still don't want to accept the facts, accept the truth. He still feels like he's a victim. He still feels like he can never do anything big. He still feels like he holds a lot of student debt. White people hold student debt too. But you making decision for your life that you want to finish college, make something meaningful of your life, and become something great. It stands you out. It's what we're all talking about. It makes you stand out. Do you know that also some people who are not as worst as you, as that black first black guy, who do not make certain decisions like you, who does not take their education serious, who end up taking drugs and finding excuses why they are not in college? That is the thing. Life is all about choices. Every single person on this world have choices. God gave us what is equal within every man? Free will, ability to make choices. That is a gift God gave to everybody. Any person who you see today who do not triumph, who do not rise up top, it's because of the choices they make. Every single person who come about to make excuses, the reason why they are not here, the reason why they are not there, the reason why they are not here, is because of the choices they made. So that first black guy who came out and talked about those bullshit crap he talked about is because of the choices he made. If he did not make a good choice, he won't be in college. This other guy who has a dreadlock, who was talking this bullshit crap to Charlie Kirk. Choices. The choice this bullshit guy right now who had the dreadlock is making right now is making excuses. Talking about DEI, affirmative action. Oh, DEI. Temperance in female restroom is a form of DEI. Bullshit. You hear me well? Bullshit. It's finding excuses. He did not come here with a good faith to learn. He came here to argue, to debate in a way of, I came to cook Charlie. I came to cook Charlie. What Charlie is saying, he's not taking it into good faith. To listen, oh, that makes sense. Okay, this is how we should do it. He came to, I want to cook Charlie. You want to cook Charlie. You were not cooking any bullshit, bro. You weren't cooking anything. You were just blabbing. I was even yawning during the video. I was tired of hearing the guy speak. He was just making excuses. Excuses. Dragging past to your present future. It makes no sense. How do you want to move forward? Every single time I hear people come out and say this DI, listen to them. They never talk about lack of fathers in their home. They never talk about black culture. They never talk about the rap aspects in black culture. They never talk about the core issue in black families. They make every excuses turn around in circles. But the main issue, they don't hit the nail in the head. Every time. Why? Because they want to find excuses. They always want to play the victim game. Every single time, they want to play the victim. They are the one that oppress. They are the one that have 300 years, that they don't make anything sensible in their life. Whereas they weren't born 300 years ago. They always want to find excuses every time. Every time. Officer Tantum said, use him as an example. Officer Tantum came from... Officer Tantum's background is not pleasant to listen to or to watch. It came from hood, guys. But he made something great with himself. That is the choices we're all talking about. Every man has choices. You either take yourself high or you bring yourself low. Officer Tantum pay his tuition. You all have choices. What do you want to make of your life? What do you want to become of yourself? That is the important thing we should all be deliberating about. Not coming about excuses why you are like this, you are like that. You are blaming the government. Every single time. See some people coming about reparation. Whenever you hear this, is all this coming from the black people. You don't see Asians talking about this. You don't see Jewish Americans talking about this. Whereas those people pass through a lot of things in America, especially Jewish Americans during the Holocaust. You don't see them coming about and holding microphone, Charlie, and talking about this bullshit crap. DI. Black people always want to find excuses. Comment down below what you think about this video. Give us a thumbs up. Share this video as many as you can. Subscribe to our channel, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you stay safe.